We are live. We got Gary in the house. I am so happy to see you in here. It's so good to be able to talk to you. I've been watching your company since I joined, and I think you were the second oil I bought on my bearded journey.
Wow.
I got your French Crush, and me and my friend actually both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so me and my friend were involved in that. We were very happy to be able to contribute at the time. And then I thought for a long time that I would just do all these small companies, and then I started trying Chesapeake. And then I was like, why
We're
did I
still
wait?
small.
you know, yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying, but in the small batch IG world, you have the name, you have a good name, and it's good products. I'll be honest with you. As I keep telling everybody, my son Joey, he smelled that Calvary and started stealing it from me. I said, "You gotta go buy your own." He bought two combos of it and used it up in 3 weeks because he just loves that smell. He bathes in it. And he's the one that we want to do a pomade for
That's
because
crazy.
he just loves that smell. And I like that
Yeah.
smell a lot too. What's funny is that my wife was one of the first people. You were the first person that she contacted beard oil wise and said that I want to be part of that. So just absolutely, it's always awesome. So how are you doing today?
Good. Tired. A little nauseous right now, but I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. So you moved out from Arizona so you grew up in
Yeah.
Florence, which is a small town south of Phoenix.
Yeah. Pinal County.
Um, yeah, Pinal County. So we used to live in Maricopa at one point. So it's a little Pinal County area too, just a little bit
Oh
off
yeah.
of, yeah, on the other side of Pinal County. But so you moved out there how many years ago to Virginia? Or is it Virginia, right? North Virginia?
I'm Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
No, Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
Maryland. Yeah. Two, 2000 January 2017, I believe.
January 2017. So that was like 3 years ago. Now, did you move out there for a job?
Yeah. So got a job with FEMA, and I started like the first week of January. So I moved
Cool.
out here by myself, rented a room near my office, and then my family moved out in the summertime.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So you moved out there and you grew up all the other years of your life in the Florence or Pinal County area, and you were working several jobs. I know that you were working for the
Yeah,
sheriff's department or the city of at
for
one point.
local, not the sheriff's.
Local. Yeah, yeah. So you were doing a little bit of
Yeah,
LE work, and then and then another time before that you were in the Marines at one point as well. So correct.
yep. Joined the Marine Corps like right after high school. Um,
Nice.
Only served 2 years due to a vehicle accident. I was a passenger in a vehicle, and we had a pretty bad accident. I got injured, and they discharged me due to my injury, and then um, moved home. And about a year or two later, is when I became an officer.
Nice. Nice. So you're patrolling the area that is south of Phoenix, and there is so much open desert there. It's amazing and windy for some reason. This Me and my wife talk about that when we were
I
going
can't hear
down.
you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I
Oh,
lost you.
did you lose me? Oh no! Don't say you lost me. Hang on one second. I can hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, hang on.
Do I need that? Let me exit.
Okay, cool. Can everybody hear me? Maybe I lost. The mic. Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I got you now, man.
All right, that's weird. Yeah, I thought I just started going with this new setup, so I thought maybe I've done something wrong. I did this. I'm trying to go to a little bit different audio so it sounds a little bit better. Not that the snowball was bad, but you always are trying to constantly go up. So, so that's awesome. So you were, and what kind of, so you moved out to, were you doing beard products prior to you moving out of Arizona, or did you decide to do that when you were in Maryland?
No, I didn't. I wasn't allowed to have a beard or facial hair until I got my job with the feds. Before
Okay.
that, yeah, I was allowed to have a goatee like in my last 4 or 5 months before I moved out here. But oh, I'm sorry, I'm
Nice.
just reading the comments. Yeah, but no, it was something I started out here, and when I was an officer, so I was a police officer for 13 years, and we couldn't have facial hair. I have a mustache, but I didn't rock the stash.
Yeah, well, especially also out in the. This is the interesting thing is you run into that. So my dad was 27 years Air Force, retired in Davis-Monthan, and um, that when he was in the Air Force, he never had facial hair, and then he started he grew a mustache, and that was like his thing. Like he had to grow immediately. He grew a mustache, and it was. It was different because the military and law enforcement is so strict about those type of things. I don't know of any place that actually allows you to have facial hair with law enforcement or military, especially military.
Midwest, and East Coast law enforcement, it's more common.
Oh,
Um,
that's nice.
yeah, but no, my department's pretty strict. Like I even had I have tattoos. I had to cover up my tattoos, so I wore a long sleeve shirt year round. Like it didn't matter if it was 120 outside. Like you're in Arizona,
I,
so middle of July,
yeah,
August, and
I
if I
can't
was
even
working
imagine.
day, no matter what shift, day shift, I mean, I was always long sleeve shirt, and it was the same with the ambulance until I don't know, last few years. I was with the ambulance 6.5 years.
Oh, right, down in Florence.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
well, I started in Mesa, and then I transferred to Florence, and I worked Florence and Coolidge. I transferred between those two houses a couple times.
Yeah, nice, nice. And those areas are very when I know Florence had the prison, so and now it's closing, of course, but Florence had the huge prison that was right next to it. And that's the only thing I knew of Florence, other than my wife played you guys in basketball
Yeah.
when she was in Queen Creek, so small little
Okay.
Queen Creek.
What year was she in high school?
She graduated 89.
Okay, so that was before me. I graduated in '98.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She went
That's when
to
Queen Creek was like so small. Like Queen Creek was just a dirt hole.
yeah, it's not. It's just like Florence, right? So Florence
Yeah.
became like this huge. Everybody built. They have that Del Webb environment right outside of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
main.
Anthem. It's called Anthem.
Right.
Yeah. We actually bought a
Yeah.
house there when they first opened up.
Yeah, beautiful houses, absolutely beautiful houses.
Yeah.
And then they have that master plan community, so it's always like there's a pool, there's a community
Yeah.
center, there's all
Yeah.
sorts
The
of fun
water
stuff.
park. Yeah. All that stuff.
Yeah,
HOA fees were horrendous.
always are. We have an HOA fee that we're always like, why are we here? And we don't have any community center, but it's just the HOAs will dictate everything. They don't allow street parking.
No.
I have adult kids, so they have two cars. So if you don't have, my wife has a hobby of doing furniture on the side, so that's where a lot of in the garage is where she's doing a lot of that work. So it's the
Yeah.
HOA gets you. But yeah, you lived in that's a very nice area. I love that.
Yeah.
The
Growing
north.
up, so like between Florence and Queen Creek was just like a dirt road. Like back when I was younger, so like when your wife was in high school, that was like dirt road. Like there was nothing in between Florence and Queen Creek other than farm fields and dirt. It was,
I know, and that's what we
but
used
now
to.
it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. There's a road that goes right to it. You don't even almost notice between Santan and Florence now when it actually turns over
Yeah.
because it's so close. It's crazy. When we went down there. I drove the long way through Oracle, and then went up through Florence just to check it out. when I was down in Tucson probably about a year ago. I was like, hey, I'm going to take Oracle Road and go through Florence and see what's going on, because I was wondering how the city looked, and it was just so different. When we were growing up, there was the prison, small town, Circle K, maybe a couple restaurants, right?
Yeah. So when I first moved there, and because we moved there in 91, 92.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I lived in Peoria in northern Phoenix area.
Yeah.
And when I first moved there, there was one traffic light, and that was at Main Street and Butte, like the main intersection. Now, when you travel 79, you hit a couple street lights. Those weren't there at all. They were four-way stop signs, or two-way stop sign, not a four-way. It was just east and west traffic that was a stop sign. Like we had two Circle K's, like literally right across the street from each other. We had a Tiger Mart, which is now the Subway, if you're familiar with that area.
Yep.
There's no McDonald's that's there now. The Burger King wasn't there. All the stuff you see on Highway 79, the gas stations, the McDonald's, the Sonic, all that was not. It was dirt lots. Like that was nothing. We had a Tiger Mart. We had a Mexican restaurant called L&B. We had Old Pueblo, which is like a Mexican American, and that was it. Like there was just nothing else. There was a Dairy Queen there, but it caught on fire right before I moved. And then, like, we had a batting cage in an arcade called Future Stars, but they later tore that down and put a doctor's office in it, where that was. Yeah, my graduating class was like 62 people.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a small town, like literally, like I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 people in the town. I think maybe a little more, but now it's like the high school is 10 times the size as it was when I was there.
right. And that's what our experience. So Christy we're older, of course. So we have 30-year reunions, 25-year reunions.
What year am I on? I'm on 22, I think.
Yeah, I think we just finished some reunion we did last year, and I don't know, it's 25th, 30th, I can't remember anymore, but yeah, so it must have been her 30th. Yeah, her 30th. And so we go, and it's just the same way. Queen Creek had the same class members K through 12 growing up, and there was like about 20 I think it was like 20 kids that graduated, like maybe less. And now you go to, and I think you've been to Queen Creek recently. It's a 5A school, so it's like one of the biggest schools in the area. So it's just absolutely crazy. It's a 5A school, so it's like that's weird. That's a reverb.
Yeah, no, I volumized it because I was watching something else too.
No worries.
Yeah, Queen Creek. So Florence was, when I went to school, was a 2A school. Now I want to say it's 3A. Rob said, "What's taking me so long?" So, Rob, what's taking me so long is I feel like shit. So because of my surgery last year, reducing my stomach, I had to take vitamins and iron every day, and I am terrible at taking them. And I haven't been feeling well, so I took my multivitamin and my iron after I ate before the stream. And iron, like, just does a number on me. I feel like I'm gonna throw up is what I feel like. Like I just feel like shit.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No, not your fault. Like it's my normal. You mean, like that's my normal. Yeah, I mean, but and we could piss some people off if you want. Accurate. I'm down with it. I'm tired of all the bullshit anyway. So. But and I saw Crib said that he didn't realize I had such a range of careers. So yeah, so I'll take you on a quick Bruce Benton. So I don't know if that's Scott or that's somebody else, but get the F out of here, man. I ain't dealing with your shit. Make a fake account just to talk to me, and you block me on everything else. I ain't dealing with that. But so right out of high school, went straight to oh no, I'm not talking about you and I personally. I'm talking about like everything else.
Yeah, who is that guy?
And we all know Bruce Benton is Scott. So unless somebody is logged into his thing or they made a thing with the name, whatever. I mean, troll somewhere else. So right out of high school, I went straight to the Marine Corps. Right out of the Marine Corps, I worked in the prison in the kitchen as a supervisor for like 2 or 3 months. And I went to work one day, and they transferred me to another unit without telling me. Like I show up to work, and it was like 2, 3 in the morning, and they're like, "Oh, you're supposed to be this other unit," and I'm like, "All right." So I go to the other unit, and there's a lady there that's got like 2 front teeth and just looks like she's messed out, saying that, "Oh, we transferred."
Things freeze up. I think I froze or somebody froze. The heck? Yeah, that was weird. Okay, Gary froze. I was like, "Am I froze? Did I? What's going on?" Just must be that. Sometimes internet. We've had some internet issues here in the valley, and I've had people like not have internet since 4 or something. It's crazy. Well, how's everybody else doing? What's in beard tonight, guys? I'm sure that he probably had something going on with his internet. So he'll be in shortly. What's in everyone's beard? Phone died. Oh, okay, cool. No worries, man. What is in everybody's beard? I'm telling you that if you do not have some Chesapeake, you should be buying some Chesapeake. That is for certain. The reason, and I hadn't really tried a lot of his products up until probably about 2 months ago, and amazing, like next level amazing, really, really good. And there's just so many product offerings. I think it's awesome. Yeah, I know. You see that? I got the SM58 mic, and I've got a preamp, and I got the whole, almost getting to the gear. I don't have the SM7B like my brother Tyson, but this will work for a little bit. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think that I got a digital interface, and so it's been really kind of cool to mess with the audio for channels. That's the one thing that's really cool. Let's see. Oh, okay. Need a moderator. So Bruce. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I got it. Okay. So how is everybody else doing tonight? It has been a crazy day for me. I am super, super busy. And I took care of that for you, Gary. Fun stuff. I know, man. It's just crazy. I've decided that this week is like this. This is the week of just crazy things at work, just fouling up, crazy things that it's just been an interesting time. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Let me get. I'm gonna have somebody jump on really quick. Let me hang out for a bit. Hang on. That wasn't the right one. Sorry, Joe. Reading the comments. Oh, who's that? Hey, Gary. What's going on, man?
I'm back. Now my phone died.
Yeah, cool. It happened.
Because I had it charged and plugged in, but it's a slow charger and like the battery drained before it could charge up. So I went and switched it to my lightning charger.
Yeah, that happens. That's the cool thing about technology is it brings you everywhere, but it's, these phones die so quick on you. My wife had to go to Sprint really quick this morning because it was like, hey, I forgot to charge my phone. And then it didn't, she wasn't able to, her phone stopped working about midday, and she's one of those people that needs her phone all day long. So she jumps to Sprint really quick, grabs a new charger. I'm like, I could have brought it to you. So you're talking about the fact that you had several jobs. So you actually worked in the Florence prison for a bit, is with the
for like 2 or 3 months, and then some crackhead chick with no teeth told me I had an attitude problem, so I politely told her to fuck off, and I quit.
Yeah.
And I went home and told my wife, and with my newborn son, my oldest son John was just born at the time, said, hey, I just quit my job. Luckily, I was still getting military pay at the time. So like I had income, but then within a week I had another job working with special needs. I don't want to call them children because they were technically adults. They like stayed in like this home, and like we went in, like it was their home, they lived there, and then we just came in like in shifts and made sure they were taken care of. So I worked there for a little bit. No, accurate. You know what? Maybe she did. And then I worked there for like 3 weeks, and then I got hired on to be a dispatcher at the police department that I ended up working at for a while because I wasn't 21 at the time.
Oh, cool.
And then, so I worked PD for 13 years, ambulance for 6.5. In that time, my friend who I worked with, he was a detective with me as well. But after he left, he owned a tattoo shop, and I was a body piercer apprentice. So Billy, I didn't work in the prison. It's not that it's not for everybody. I mean, I didn't quit because I couldn't do it. I supervised the kitchen crews. I mean, it has nothing to do with being able to hang or not. My father's a retired deputy warden from Florence prison. My mom's retired from there. My oldest son works there now.
Which it's downsizing, right?
Yeah.
It's downsizing quite a bit. It's going to close eventually.
So in a few years, probably they're going to shut down the Florence complex because it just old. And then they're going to shift everybody to Iman and then Lewis complex down in Buckeye. But they're not getting rid of people or inmates. They're just going to close down the facility because they have a lot of empty beds.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. What's interesting is that I tell people. Go ahead.
So I don't want to interrupt you, brother.
No,
I
go
gotta
ahead.
address something right now because I am in a foul mood to begin with because I feel like shit. So what is up with everybody? And I don't want to say everybody because there's people who aren't doing it. But these fake ass accounts, and I know I was accused of having 6 accounts. I've got one. Come look at my fucking phone and I'll show you. We have this DJ Slick Silky Dan, which we know what that's a reference to. So what the hell is that about? And then we have Bruce Banton acting like nobody knows who he is. We all know who the fuck that is. Like, what's up with this shit? You know what I mean? We're men, are we not? Are you not a goddamn adult? You know what I mean? You got to make these stupid accounts so you can come in and troll and talk shit. You block people on your personal accounts so you make your other shit so you can watch us. Dude, I'm tired of this shit. Take your NBO, twist it sideways, and shove it fucking right up your ass. Like, I don't understand. It's so stupid. If you don't like me, then don't watch me. If you don't like Dan, don't watch Dan. Right? Why you gotta hate on people acting like a fucking 12-year-old? Pisses me off. And I'm sorry, you know what? I'm gonna lose friends and followers because of this, and that's just tough shit. If you're mad at me for being tired of these guys creating these stupid ass accounts, DJ Slick Silky Dan, like we don't know who that is, right? Like we don't know why that account's made. And Bruce Banton, like we don't know that that's not accurate or not accurate. Magruder. And it's not that it affects me. And yes, and Rob, I agree with you. Ignoring it's right, but it's just childish, man. I'm just tired of seeing it, right? I'm tired of those people getting on their high horse and telling facts and truth and talking shit about everybody else, but they're not doing anything better than those they're attacking. It's stupid. You want to create a new little group to attack Dan? Dude, you know where he lives. Drive to his house, knock on his door. You got a problem with him, punch him in the mouth. If not, shut the fuck up and move on. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it, right? And if Adam's in here, I forgot to unblock Adam. I'm sorry. Like, I don't even know how to do that. Let me see if I could fix it.
So me
I'm
and
just
a few
tired
of
of
the
this crap. Like, we can't do
I
a
know.
stream without.
I know.
And I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's okay, and then that's the reason why, honestly, that's why I personally like you, is because you're a straight shooter. You have been honest with me, and I know that my wife, our family, appreciates your products. But then also, when I see you on a stream, you're honest. But you know, the other thing is that you know your shit. This is the one thing that I'm going to say, that when I see you on the streams, you're very intelligent about the products that you're putting in. I've seen that over and over again on every stream that I see, that's the case, that you are putting a lot of knowledge into these, and you've done a lot of research to get to this point. I was impressed by when I was on Joe's live stream a week
I
ago.
lost your volume again.
Oh, did I lose my volume again? Uh-oh.
You know what I'm not intelligent on? Figuring out how to unblock somebody on YouTube.
Is it still doing something weird, or I can't
I
hear me?
lost volume again. Let me come out and go back in.
That's weird. Hello.
Oh, now you're black. Where'd you go? Oh,
I moved on. I was making sure.
okay.
I was like, let me make sure, because I got a new setup too, so I've been messing with it. What's going on, Adam?
Oh, if it ain't one thing, it's the other. Call me Sally and smack my brother. Tell you what.
Do you know what?
I can't figure out how to unblock people.
You have to go search for their name, and then you have to you have to look for their name, and then there's like an option to unblock.
All right, so let me.
But what's interesting to me, and this is the one thing that me and Joe and a few other people, we're just honestly, we're tired of the drama. We're just going to be positive. We're going to have fun. You know,
Yeah, and I didn't mean to.
No. It needs to be said, you know, and especially when it's coming and attacking you. I totally get it because it's affecting you. And it just doesn't, in our opinion, or at least my opinion, I can't speak for everybody else, but it gets a little old. And I know people that leave the community because they see all this and it's just like too much. It's like, why am I in this if this is the way it's going to be? You know, this is about beard oils and beard companies and reviewing and enjoying each other. You know, this should be fun.
Yeah, Adam, if you're in here, dude, I have to figure out later. I unblocked you on my IG, brother, but I can't figure this YouTube shit out. I don't YouTube much.
No, it's okay. But I'll tell you, that's the one thing that and you know, I was getting stressed out a little bit about some of this stuff. And it just, after a while, I had to just let go and just refocus and just be on my own space. And I think
tell you what, I have enough in my savings account to bail me out of jail about 20, 30 times. So listen, you all know my address is on my damn packages, man. If people got a problem with me, they know where the fuck I live. Pardon my French. Oui, right? So if you got a problem, you address it with that person, not on YouTube. And listen, I've gone down that. Listen, I'm not preaching anything I haven't been through. I've done some stupid shit, handled my business in a public forum, and I should have done it privately, which made me look like the asshole, made them look like the angel. Which, I mean, that happens. So I understand being frustrated and being mad. But you know what? How many years of the same crap are we going to do? If it's not one person, it's the other. It's, oh, Gary's mad at this person. He's an asshole because he's talking about him on IG or YouTube, right? But then fast forward to now, and it's like, oh, this person's mad at Dan, so let's join his little new group and let's hate Dan. Like, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do we need to sit down, watch Barney, and learn how to get the fuck along? Like, is that what we need? I'll host a Barney marathon on my IG. We'll live stream Barney until the Barney people shut me down. Like, if that's what we need. I mean, we need Elmo telling you that L stands for love. You know what I mean? Like,
totally true.
I just don't have time for it anymore. It's just so much crap.
So what do you, so other than the beard oil game, what are you doing for fun?
I don't have time for fun.
Yeah.
Truthfully. Yeah, I mean, I work full time, right? I work full time for the government. I do this full time, you know what I mean? And
you're a parent full time.
Yeah, and I have my kids and my wife and I go to school full time. Like, I just don't. So like, I took a vacation for a week. Stupidest thing I could have done as far as the business goes, because I'm so far behind now. Then I went to Arizona this weekend. Stupidest thing I could have done for the business, because neck hurts because I'm just so behind. And then
does it feel like you're getting just overwhelmed with a lot of this stuff? Because it's just
I don't know who this Eagle guy is either.
No.
Okay. But it doesn't sound like he's a jerk, but I'm like, Eagle Fist. I don't know who it is. But I mean, people didn't even put their names. I hate these screen name crap. Yeah, but for fun, I just don't have time. I mean, like, I love watching football, but who knows if that's gonna happen. I like hanging out with the family. I love cooking, but it's like I don't even have. I don't know. I just don't have time for fun, and I recently had to take the custom scent option off the website because I'd have people, they ordered a custom. I'm like, yeah, I could do it. You know what I mean? But I told them the custom's going to take a while. And they call, well, I ordered a custom 4 weeks ago. I have it. I'm like, you mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to stop everything else and make a custom? Like, it's a custom. I mean, if you ordered anything else custom off any other business, a custom car, a custom clock, custom anything, it's going to take forever, right? You don't get customs in a week.
Right. So how hard is it so when you came
No,
into
I'm not
this,
saying
go
Eagle's
ahead.
bad. I just don't know who Eagle is. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you
I've
see
never
all
seen.
these weird names, I mean, with all the trolls and the haters creating their accounts, like, I don't know who anybody is anymore. So
Oh.
if I offended you, Eagle, that's my bad. I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's kind of sad, to be honest with you, because I haven't, I'm a small YouTuber, so it's, I don't run into many problems because nobody cares about me that much. But yeah, I was thinking maybe need to get a moderator for this one because I've never had to have one because I'm just so, I do reviewers table. We have me and Joe, and we have 6 guys, so it really doesn't. I don't know if it doesn't attract that, but I've never had to worry about that up until today. That's weird, but that's okay. We got to deal with what we got to deal with.
Yeah, there's 25 people watching now, but like 6 in the comments. So someone's like, Gary's talking shit. Let's go.
Do you know what though? Is and this is just my opinion, but if that's what you have to do to get your jollies, then stop. This is really supposed to be about fun. This is fun stuff. I enjoy being able to talk to a fellow Arizonan who's not from, not living here now, but I enjoy the fact that it was kind of fun talking about old times where what these towns used to be in Arizona. See, Phoenix used to be, Arizona actually was a small, like all the cities weren't that big. I grew up in Tucson for a little, I was born in Tucson.
Tucson's a third world country, man. I don't like Tucson.
Do you know what? I tell people I've been in Phoenix for a long time, and I visit down to Tucson, but you know what? Tucson, it has the U of A, and I'm a big Wildcat fan. But what it has is these weird little, it doesn't have like out centers. It has like a small mom and pop place, some place they just built that's brand new, then some rundown shack. Yeah. You're an ASU fan? There you go.
I'm alumni. I'm ASU alumni.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So the Sun Devils, yeah, we call them the Scum Devils in Wildcat territory.
That's where I got my my master's from. That's where I'm still in my second master's program.
What are you getting your master's in?
What is this master's in? Oh, man, I can't even remember. It has to do with like public administration, leadership stuff.
Like MBA?
No. I was doing my PhD in educational leadership with Grand Canyon, but then I had to drop because I couldn't keep up with it with my job because hurricane season hits and you're just too busy. So then I went back to another master's. But my other degree my master's is in emergency management, and so I went to school full time when I worked PD in the ambulance, and I worked on 2 bachelors at the same time. I was taking 24 to 28 semester hours, credit hours a semester.
Holy moly!
I graduated with 2 bachelor's degrees in 2 years. I have a bachelor's in justice administration, and I have a bachelor's in emergency management, and then I have my master's in emergency management.
Holy Mensa, Batman! Holy Mensa! That's all I gotta say.
No, I'm not smart. I'm stupid as shit, to tell you what. Like, I would never recommend that for anybody to do that. And my wife helped me a lot when it came, because there's like the college algebra kicked my ass, dude. I have this thing where numbers and letters don't mean anything to each other. Like, a number is not a letter, and a letter is not a number.
Yeah.
So my wife, who is extremely brilliant, she had to help me with the whole call, and I barely passed college algebra with like a C, like a low C, and that's all you needed for a bachelor's. Luckily, like in my master's programs, you don't have to take math. Like I had to
right.
I had this GIS something where you do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm good with math. I'm just not good with letters in math. I mean, like when it comes to that, like X, Y equals C, W2. I'm like, no, X is X, Y is Y, A is A. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. Like I just can't compute that. But simple math, like I could do in my head in seconds. And like everyone complains about, oh, Common Core this, Common Core that. I've been doing Common Core in my head my entire life, and I was never taught Common Core. That's just how I process.
That's very interesting, actually,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people that. So my dad's a teacher, or I call BioDad. BioDad is a teacher, and he was a science teacher and a math teacher. So, and he always taught me that there's people who are abstract, and there's just different types of thinkers. You're one of those. You do it in a different way. You don't have to. Maybe your fundamental way of thinking is in a way that where you don't see it the same way that everybody else does. But when you have math facts like that are just rolling that quick, that's awesome. That means that, and most of us, to be honest with you, how often are we using college algebra? I haven't used college algebra. Well, I should take that back. I'm an IT guy. I use stats every day. But in the other world part of my life, it's just basic numbers, right? So most people never have to go to that level of statistical stuff.
Yeah. So my statistics class kicked my butt too. My wife helped me with that a little bit. Like I was good until you started incorporating the things I don't like. You know what I mean? Like it was
right. It's all formulas based, right?
Yeah.
And that was the one thing that,
Yeah, my head, like I don't care what it is, numbers and letters, mathematically, my head, like it's just, I don't care. My wife and my friends have tried to teach. I don't care how hard you try to teach me, and it's just not going to work. Like I am not going to understand it. To me, it's ridiculous. You mean letters don't have nothing to do with numbers? Like to me, A equals 1 because it's the first damn letter. So that's what, to me, that's what that correlation between the letter and numbers. But it's everything else. Like if it comes to the law, which I've studied immensely, I'm great with the law. I suck at history. I am great with simple mathematics. Problem solving, I'm great at. Not very like mechanically inclined. Like I could fix things and do things, but like I couldn't rebuild an engine and be confident that it's going to work, right?
So you have a lot of that engineering type thinking where it's very logical how it all works, and it all works in a certain way. And then you're also memorizing facts. Like law enforcement facts are, because you have to, all the codes and probably memorized all. So are you better with words, or are you better with, or is it just, it has to be separate? Like you can do good. You're very good with English. You're good with your words.
I think I have a really good memory. So that's why.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, if you can remember, why can't you do the A's and B's? Because no matter how much
it's not
you
the same
try,
process.
it's not gonna work. But when it came to learning about the law, and then even on the law enforcement side with the codes, I just remember. Like I haven't been a cop since 2015, 14, roughly, and I could tell you. Speeding is 28-701A, speed not reasonable and prudent. Stop sign is 28-855B, that's stop sign violation. 13-1802A1 is theft. I mean, like I could just remember these things. I think 13-3407, if I'm not mistaken, I think is disorderly conduct or criminal damage, 1 to 2. So I just.
Sounds like you have a photographic memory.
I wouldn't say photographic, but like, I don't know. I just have this thing with it. So when I never wrote written warnings, because if I'm going to write something down, it's going to be a ticket, right? I'm not going to write you a warning because they're just going to do the same as me telling you, hey, slow down, right? Writing it on paper, me verbally telling you is going to do the same thing. You either care or you don't. And why waste the paper, right? So there's been people who I've pulled over and give them a warning, and they're not even like wouldn't even reside in the town. They're just like people who drive through to commute or just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I always gave, unless it was something excessive, I'd always give a warning before I wrote a ticket, except for stop sign violations. Those always got tickets. And I could pull you over 4 or 5 years later, and I had one I think was maybe 7 or 8 years later, and I remember I'd be like, "Didn't I give you a warning for speeding?" Like, "Oh no, I don't think we ever met." And I say, and I have dispatch look. And they're like, "Yeah, you had contact with this person, like 5 years ago." I'm like, "Yeah, see, on this date, I gave you a warning." so you're gonna get a ticket today.
Oh,
No,
that's
man, you never
crazy.
pulled me over. I'm like, yeah, there's a record of the stop. Like, I know I stopped you. So, like, I just remember those things. I don't know why. And like, I remember stuff from like 2. Like, it's ridiculous. I'll tell my mom, remember these things? And then she goes, the hell you remember that? Like, and there'll be a photo. She'll have a photo album or photo to like confirm that, oh yeah, I remember that. But she's like, how do you remember these things? But
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
But that's something that I wish I had. I used to have a better memory until I hit my 40s. I think I'm hitting my 40s and I don't remember as well as I used to, but I've been focused on, I think right now I'm so focused on programming that I think that you are just so focused on just that logic that I just think about that stuff all the time. So it's always statistical stuff,
Yeah.
very much more into the kind of more into the A's equals 1, into the A, B's and like college algebra stuff, because that's a lot of the logic that you have to use to program.
Yeah.
So
See, my short-term memory, terrible, right? In a week, I'll forget half of the shit we talked about. In a year, I'll remember the whole conversation. It's
that's crazy.
stupid.
That's
It
interesting.
Yeah, it's stupid. And it hurts. My short-term memory hurts me. I think, I don't want to say hurt, but like I'm just so busy. Like, and I need a damn secretary is what I need. Like, I might write something down or jot something down, like customer contact me, whatever, and I'll totally space or forget. And they'll email me 2 weeks later. Hey, did you ever send this replacement? I'm like, oh shit, no, but it's coming, and then print out real quick and send it. But like, yeah.
What's
Can't
been the
remember.
biggest thing that you think that you were not prepared for growth-wise? Because you're becoming, in my opinion, you're one of the bigger companies out there right now for small batch. What was the one thing that you were not prepared for when you got to this level?
Lack of revenue. like, and listen, and I'm going to give somebody plenty of information to make a hate video about today. I mean, I'm just going to talk truth and transparency as far as my business goes. And I could show the numbers. Like, right now, I can pull up my QuickBooks and show the numbers. When I have hundreds of thousands coming in, I've got hundreds of thousands going out. Like, my profit, like the money in bank is like next to nothing. Like, the business keeps itself floating, but I don't take money out. Like, I don't pay myself. I don't, like, there's not, the business isn't doing anything but supporting itself right now. And that includes, I do, charities and donations and stuff like that through the business. Hold on. See, a McMahon. I see I owe McMahon something, and there's, everybody in the chat could say I owe him something, and I wouldn't be surprised if I really did. Although some of them I'll know I don't. Like, I really don't think I owe Johnny a cherry cola set.
Though it is really good.
It's the revenue, like, because there's other companies who are just slaying, like making money hand over fist, and we're not doing bad as far as like our sales. And I'm like, where is it going? Like, and I know people are like, well, it's going to all these damn free things you're doing. And I'm like, well, that's possible, but it's not all of it. Like, I'm just always buying things. I have thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of, inventory and supplies and stuff like that, and equipment and whatnot. But yeah, so I think that would be the thing I didn't expect, because I've done other business ventures before, and I know like where the money's coming. Everything was like a lower profit margin than what this is. And this isn't a high profit margin. Regardless of what people are going to say, oh, beard oil costs $3 or $4. Well, then start a business and do it, and then you let me know how it goes. Because a beard oil doesn't cost $3 or $4. If you're making a shit ton of them, sure, but it doesn't. It's not that simple, right? It takes more than just the cost of the oil in the bottle and the label. I mean, there's shipping, there's packaging, there's electricity, there's your website, there's so much that goes into it.
Right.
And I owe Acker a Vitality royalties, bro. He's not far off with that comment. He helped me name it. He didn't make the product. He helped me name it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Because I was struggling with the name. I had ideas, but yeah. And then the second thing would be like our growth, like from year 1 to year 2 to year 3 is just like every year we've doubled or more. I mean, like just the amount and the fact that I'm still able to do it. Like I literally do this by myself. Like I get a little bit of help. My wife to help me pack order. You know what I mean? But generally speaking, I do this 100% on my own. I make the products. I package the products. So it's. Jerome, I'll answer you in a second, and the answer is no. But I'll get into that. But yeah, so and that's when like a lot of people like even my first year, I had people. I'm like, hey, I mean, this is gonna take time. If I got busy, like especially during hurricane season when I'm just swamped at work. Like the first 6 months, a hurricane season, like when I started the job, I was working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week for 6 months.
Oh wow!
Right, so it's like you get a little bit busy. You know what I mean? And people literally thought that I was like a larger company like Beard Brand. I'm like, and I had somebody like, oh, I thought you. I'm like, no, like I can't even lick the sweat off of Beard Brand's boots right now. Like I'm a small one guy, and I've been a one-man show from the start. You know what I mean? So that's the hardest part. If I can hire somebody or if I can quit my job and do it full time, I wouldn't even blink at it. I just can't afford to do that. If I hired somebody, we would go under. Like there's just no money to pay anybody. I mean,
well, that's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering. So, and I've heard this from other people too. And when I talked to Bam, he was telling me the same thing. So what in that case keeps you in it?
I like doing it. I'll tell you what, I thought about giving it up many times. And you know what's made me want to give it up? And this is going to be the saddest thing you probably heard. And the most, let me see, cowardly, weak thing you'll probably heard too. The bearded community. The word community needs to be taken off the table when it comes to that, because there is not a community. It's a freaking shit show right now. And I think it's going to always be like that until people decide to put on their pull-ups and not, wear freaking their mother's lingerie. But there's been times where like I just wanted just to step away. Like, I mean, it's stupid. But then when it comes to the business, though, there's a world so much larger than this community. I mean, like I would say 10% of my sales are from the community. You know what I mean? So it's like, why am I going to let a small portion of what I bring in control or dictate? You know what I mean? So I just keep going. Plus, I like it. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy doing what I do.
Cool.
I hate not finishing what I started. You know what I mean? So, and my youngest son, Kellen, is 100% into this thing. Like, with he did the French crest stuff, as we all know. And he's got his little blue Chesapeake shirt that says manager on the back because he's the boss, and he gets his, okay, I take it back. I do take money. Kellen gets a paycheck. He gets $50 probably every 4 or 5 months if he asks for it.
Nice.
But that comes out of my pocket. It doesn't come out of the business. He doesn't know that. He thinks he gets a paycheck and he's proud of it.
There you go. Well, that's why I do. So a while back, a little bit ago, I was
accurate. Hey, maybe less than 10% is. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's. But I can tell you that's the reason why I do this as well. Same reason. Me and Caden have bonded over this because my wife hates this stuff for me. You were the first person, to be honest with you, Gary, you were the first person that she contacted and had it delivered to her place and bought it. She did not want to buy it. She smelled the Calvary when I first bought it. And she said, I like the smell of that. Let me talk to that. And I told him about how you were from Florence and she felt connected to that. So she actually got my Father's Day present, and I think she's been talking to you here and there.
Yeah, she messaged me. She goes, "Hey, this is practitioner's wife. Don't tell him I bought this." I'm like, "All right,
cool." But that's the thing is that she wasn't behind me at all with that stuff. But me and Caden have bonded over it, completely bonded over it. That's why we do the videos. I said, what is going to make me happy? And it's not about getting a certain number of subscribers. Though I think if I look at my numbers, hopefully after tonight, I got to 200. Woo! But it's been a year. It's been a year. And I'm okay with being a little guy enjoying doing videography with my son.
You're 201, buddy.
Yeah, there we go. Just got it.
See, my channel's at 104. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I don't even do anything.
It's hard work. It's hard work to get. So for me, it was hard work. And then I had to say, this isn't about doing this stuff and growing and then backstabbing people and some of the silly stuff that some of the beard communities seem to be about. From my perspective, it turned into, let me enjoy I have really great friends in this community. I got Joe is a really great friend, Tevin, even Devin, some of the other reviewers. I really, really love these guys. These are genuinely good people. And I hang out with those guys. And me and my son make videos, and me and my son have a blast doing it. I mean, my son really enjoys smelling these things and being a goof, and trying to convince me that he needs to do a YouTube channel for gaming, but we're not there yet.
So is your name Andy?
My name is Andy. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, Acker said, amen, Andy. And I'm like, who's he? I'm like, who Andy say what?
Yeah. My name's Andy. So
I don't know why I didn't know that. Andrew.
Okay.
The orders come over Andrew, right?
Yeah, because that's my formal name. But and it's also saved everywhere, so I just never change it to Andy. But
if Barden says anything worth that I need to see, can somebody copy paste it?
Oh yeah,
because I can't figure out how to unblock him. And I'm sure Adam wants to interact, and I'm sure he said hi. I miss it. Hi, Adam.
He did. He said he's Adam's. I like Adam a lot. I've been talking to him for a while now too. So super nice guy. But those are the people. There are people in this community that I've really bonded with, and those are who that's who I'm going to focus on. And I'm not going to focus on all the negative, and it just gets too overwhelming otherwise, because then you're just like, who's playing what game? It doesn't even matter. I just make small videos with my son, and we have a good time. And then I come on here and I get to talk to some really cool people that are creating. I mean, just the fact that you're in this business, and you're not going to be a millionaire doing this right now. Maybe we'll know Chesapeake, and when you're a Live Bearded, and we're going to be like, yeah, we knew him back then. Right. But I enjoy being able to talk.
Just keep doing it. I didn't mean to interrupt you. My goal is just to keep doing it. Like, the amount of people who's come and gone since I've started this is enormous. Like, there's been so many who's and this is the thing too. So I know people kind of get think I'm arrogant or cocky when I say this, but people ask me what's your goal? What's your mission as a business? There is Chesapeake. My goal and my mission is to firmly plant my boot on the neck of my competition. So that's just how it is. I want to be the end-all, be-all place where you get everything. I want to be the guy. Now, will I ever be the guy? Who knows? It's not impossible. But that is why, why do this if that's not your end game? If your end game is not to be the top of the mountain, knowing that tomorrow there's going to be somebody to kick you right off that mountain, and you're going to be coming right back to take that spot. So that's why I do that. I don't care if you've got 10 customers or 10 million customers. My goal is to make sure that my little, my little logo is what you think about when you go to sleep at night. That's my goal. And as bad as that, stock up for what? Who are you talking about, Acker? Am I missing half the stuff? That's my intention. I don't know if I can. Andrew, talk.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to you. I'm just listening. Yeah.
Southern Charm Bearded Hillbilly is in the vault. So go to the website and go to the vault. And if it's in stock there, that's where it's at. But Southern Charm is going to sleep for a little bit.
I do not.
Yeah, but that's my goal. Because I've had people well, what are your goals? I'm like, and you'll, I think Chris is who says all the time, he goes, boots on next, right, Gary? I'm like, damn right, boots on next. Holly from Whiskey and Hardtack, who I love dearly, she sent me a care package one time, and it had a Xerox, like a household name, a copy of a sparkly pink combat boot. She sent me a picture of that. She goes, "Here's my boot for your neck." And I'm like, so.
But what I think what you're saying is that you love the competition, and you love to be able to strive to be better. What is the one thing that keeps you up at night when you're going through this and trying to keep and strategize how you can be able to get to that next level?
So I think this is actually probably a fault of mine, like something that negatively, like you're asking, like what is it that I think about at night, or what, like what I go to sleep thinking? Is that what you're asking?
Right.
So the competition, right? So and as bad as like you got guys, and I don't care who you are, the guys say I don't even worry about the other guys. You're full of it. You have to worry. Like you don't have to be obsessed with the other guys, but your competitors, you got to know what they're doing because you got to be one step ahead of them. So I think that's what I think I always think about, like, well, shit, this guy's coming with this and this, and like I got to do something better, right? That's kind of like, I know, and the number, I think, other than calling me an asshole, the number one thing in the world for people in this little community to talk about is, oh, Gary's unoriginal. Gary just copycats everybody. I've been told, oh, your Cent of the Month thing, you ripped off Pedro. Well, we did Cent of the Month a year or so ago, right? And Pedro, who from Black Rebel, we get along great. Like, he's a great dude. He didn't invent Cent of the Month. Like, that's just, or, monthly subscriptions. He didn't. So when I see somebody say, oh, Gary, as soon as Pedro did his monthly limited, Gary's doing it. No, Gary's done it. I stopped it and I brought it back. Fable does it. I don't know who. There's other companies who do
Blackbeard
it.
Trading Company. I can name a
Yeah, they did it.
handful.
Yeah,
Kuhn.
so
and I agree. I don't think it's something that. My opinion is this anybody in this business, this is a business and it's running like a business. There's marketing involved in a business. There's finding gimmicks to sell products in some unique way. There is keeping up with the competition to make sure that you're doing similar things, especially if they're selling. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, that guy's working. That seems to be working out for him. Maybe if I do something similar, it's going to be better for my business. There is nothing wrong with that thinking. That's actually business. That's part of being in a business.
So I compare it to, and there's a lot of things you can compare it to, food, industries, whatever. But look at the automobile industry, right? The car is a very basic idea. You have 4 wheels, 2 axles for the most part. There's other ones with 3 axles, but 2 axles, 4 wheels in the engine and in transmission. And then the outside is where people get creative, right? So would we be okay if there were just one type of automobile in the world and there was no variation to it? Would you be okay with that? The answer is no, because people, it'd be like just riding around in a Amish buggy all day. They're doing like everyone's look the same. There's nothing wrong with it, but I love Amish buggies, by the way. So it's the same thing with like beard products. The same thing with fast food, with a hamburger. I mean, you know how many ways you can make a hamburger? Like so many ways, right? But are you going to say, well, Red Robin, you're copying Carl's Jr. because your burger had bacon on it? Like, really? I mean, it's a consumable item. It's a usable item. There's going to be variations of it. So, and that's one of the things I always look to. Like, okay, if somebody's doing something, can I do it better? If I can't do it better, it's not worth doing. So I've got a lot of flack when I started Mojo, which is similar to Bossman Beard Jelly. I'll say similar because Mojo, from everybody who's used both, has always said the Mojo is better. Whether they're telling me the truth or not, that's just the facts, what I've been told. I've never used Bossman Beard Jelly, never bought Bossman Beard Jelly, never had anybody. I've never had a Bossman product in my possession. Never touched it, never felt it, never smelt it, never looked at it, never, nothing. I don't really like the guy. I've had interactions with the owner. I'm not too fond of him. But I saw this product, I'm like, well, this is interesting. Can I make this and make it better? My ingredients are different. The feel and beer is different. to me, it's just a better product. And like, I remember when I said, "Oh, it's a improved version." People are like, "Oh, you can't do an improved version if you never did it." I'm like, "Well, you're right. Well, this is a better version of that garbage," is what I tell you. I don't know if it's garbage. I never used it, but I just know ours is different from the
See,
ingredients. The only thing I did do is I went and looked at his ingredients to make sure once I formulated ours, it was different. I didn't want to be accused of using the same ingredients, whatever. I think we've got 5 or 6 ingredients in ours, and that's it. We have an oil carrier base with a scent, and then one ingredient that makes it the jelly type version of it.
cool.
You used what, Johnny? You used Mojo or you used jelly? If you don't like Mojo, that's cool. You'll be the first person who's
No,
ever told
I
me
think he's talking about Boss Man, and I've heard that's the third or fourth person that I've heard said that Boss Man just didn't feel good in their beard. It just sits in it. They said.
Yeah,
Most
I don't know, so I couldn't tell you how.
Yeah, it's and I think it's just the interesting thing, and this is a very interesting. Every beard is so different that it reacts, and I'm sure that Boss Man probably has a product line where it worked good in their beards, and then they sell it, and it works, and they have a fandom that it works for. Same way with a lot of products. I like the fact that you've put yourself into different spaces for men grooming. And I think that beard and grooming, the grooming part is something that now people, especially men, are more into. So you have the pomades now, and you're doing body washes. You're doing different things that are going to help men appear better in some way. And having a one-stop shop is awesome. I think that that's a great idea, especially if you are able to. I love the fact that you can just get your pomade there, get your beard oil there, and then get a body wash and a good beard wash. And you have so many options for beard washes. It's unfunny. I love that.
So, real quick because my attention span is very short. So,
No worries.
to address kind of what you said, it's funny. So Pedro from Black Rebel, we talk daily, and that's one of the things he always gives me shit is about. You've got too much things. Just do one thing. Just do one thing. I'm like, but that's not what my brand is. My business is. I don't want to be just beard. You mean like there's a larger market when you like a lot of guys with beards do things to their hair if they have hair. I mean, I used to always shave bald, but I grew my hair so I can use my hair products, and I still haven't used my hair products. I can't say that I do because I don't. Because I work from home, so I got no reason to do my hair. So I never, I put a hat on if I need to go outside. I'm sorry. So, the reason I did that, because like I said, I wanted to be, and when I first started the business, like it was just beard because that's all I knew. I didn't know about everything else. But yeah, I wanted to add like the hair product. So we have 2 cents right now in our water-based pomades. We have a fiber gum, we have a molding cream, a texture paste, a clay. We have, our charcoal wash and conditioner. We have our Ultra. We have our Command. We have our new beard wash that's releasing not this Monday but next.
That's cool. So how do you keep a track of all this with the, it sounds like a massive undertaking. Do you have an inventory system? How are you doing it?
So yeah, we do inventory. We have an inventory tracker.
Cool.
The hardest part is oils, balms, butters, water-based pomade, Mojo, and Vitality. I do that all in-house. My other 4 hair products, the clay, the fiber gum, the molding cream, and texture paste, is all done out of house. And I have been trying to do the hair products for over a year. It took me quite a long time to find somebody who would make the fiber gum. There was you could not find a manufacturer to do that, and that was the hardest thing to do. So finally I found, and they make the other 3 products, and they make more, just those are what I carry. So that was the hardest And once I found that, I was like, cool, we're gonna go with the hair stuff because I didn't really do the water-based pomades. I want to do it all at once. I wanted like have multiple things for the hair. We did have a sea salt spray under our old Savage Heart line, but we're going to be bringing that back. I mean, I wanted to do things for the kids just because my kids are involved. That's why we have the kids body wash. But we're going to see a big revamp to the kids line here probably within the next 10 months. You can see some additions. We are going to add a body wash soon. I actually had the bottle, my dog, I had the empty bottle, which I was using for a mock-up. My dog was eating it because I threw it at her, let her eat it up. She's a little baby pug. It was just a bottle. I brought it in here to measure it so I can get labels designed. We have our Jade line, which is our women's line. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, we're going to do a women's line. They do like a body oil, body butter. Like, man, we're going to kick the women's line down people's throats. Like, it's just going to be, no, it's not a body oil. It's not a body butter. Like, we've got our shampoo conditioners. We're talking the retinol serums, the stuff you put on your face for the wrinkles. We're going to do the creams, the stuff that like gets the discoloration out. We have a few things that I'm not going to reveal because the last thing I want is somebody else doing it before me.
Right,
but when you look at a brand or business like ours or a small batch business, we're going to be doing things you just don't expect. And we have, you know, Jade is a real person. It's Josh and Jade. They live in Virginia. Josh is from Maryland. They're an interracial couple. Jade's an absolutely beautiful lady. Josh is a good-looking dude. You know what I mean? And they're on our website. They're the couple on the main page. There's the couple. There are two guys by themselves, but Josh and Jade are the couple. And they're YouTube influencers. They got a good following. That's not why we're working with them, because they were customers first, and we just built that relationship. And I wanted to build the female line around an actual person I knew, and like someone who could be the face of it, and somebody who could be, you know, tangible. Like, oh, it's not just a picture you pulled off of the internet and just used a stock photo. Like, no, these are actually her. So I have her, and then I have a bearded dad, Matt. His wife Sabrina is also one of the faces of Jade, just because they're two very different visual presentations of the female form. One's all tatted up. I mean, Hispanic, blonde, got that pinup kind of look. The other one's just a real elegant. I mean, both beautiful ladies. So we're doing that. Yeah. So, and the ladies line is going to be ridiculous, and it's a slow rollout because it takes time and money, and that's part of like where the revenue is going, is always adding things. If I just did beard oil, beard balm, beard butter in a co-wash, like I'm sure we'd be bringing money, but we're always trying to grow. And the guys line is gonna. All I can say is we're not out, we're not down, we're not done. Hang tight, boys. It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. So the 4 or 5, and most people, if you do the business models that most people do, it's about 5 years before your business is profitable, because you're dumping your money back into the business. So that totally makes sense what you're saying. I know that from, you know, the restaurant business, and actually restaurants are like is that Acker?
No, I like Sean.
No, it's the gnome again.
Yeah. He sits on my desk. He's like my buddy.
There you go. He's making sure that everything's safe.
Oh, and Acker's something about stock. So, and that's one of the things that's the hardest part about this business, is keeping everything in stock, right? So the things I make in house, yeah, I can just go whip up a quick batch if we're out of stock. But I'm trying to do bigger inventories. But people buy it. Like, I mean, the vitality is the hardest thing to keep in stock next to our co-washes and stuff. The vitality is expensive as shit to make, and it takes me a while to get the ingredients. So it's always on order, and I'm always making what I can, and you don't get a lot out of so out of 5 gallons of product, I probably get about 3 of actual product to sell. So it takes time for that. But yes, And then
Well,
like
that's
the
what.
co-wash, we have our co-wash made in a cosmetics facility that does that stuff. Both right now, for Ultra, it's a 2 to 3 month lead time, easy, right? So I
Oh,
just
wow.
got 80 bottles in. I've got 200 bottles that I ordered right behind that. Then I have 15 gallons I ordered right behind that. So because they were having issues with bottles too, so I'm like, just throw that shit in a bucket. I'll bottle it myself because they bottle it for me. They just don't label it for me because I'd have to have like 4,000, 40,000. I don't know. So I label it and they just bottle it. But I'm like, just send that thing in buckets and I'll bottle it. And that if that's gonna make it quicker, they're like, well, that will cut down some of the time. We'll just whip it up, throw it in the bucket for you. So that's something that's helped. And then we have, and that's the same place I get some other stuff from. So we have more of that. It just the easiest one to get is the Command Co-Wash. I don't have a lead time problem with that. I can order it and have it in 2 weeks.
Oh, cool. How has your business been affected by the COVID, for lack of a better word, since we've been out and on lockdowns? How has that been affecting your business on getting products and things like that?
Oh, it's been terrible, terrible. So, and that's one of the reasons why we cut customs down, is because trying to order, like if I already have the fragrances and the essentials here, I could do it. But if I have to order stuff, sometimes it just takes a while. And then, so some of these companies who provide ingredients for us, they order in bulk, right? So they're going to order 55-gallon drums of these things, and then they'll break it down to 2 ounce, 10 ounce, 60, however small packages they want to offer. Well, when COVID hit, one of my suppliers, like my emu oil, I can't get that in a gallon jug anymore. I have to get it in a 5-gallon container. $1,600 some odd dollars for a 5-gallon thing at emu.
Wow.
I don't want to spend $1,600. So
Yeah.
they just did it where I can get a 16-ounce bottle. So I ordered 2 of those for my next batch. And then I'm trying to order as small as I can, hoping that soon they'll go back to normal. One of my fragrance oils for one of my popular scents, it's out of stock. I can't make it right now because I need one more ingredient to finish the scent blend. Because it's a mixture of a few different things. Well, that company is not breaking them down right now, so I can order it in 25 gallons or nothing. Well, I don't need a $1,700 25-gallon bottle of oil or scent that's going to sit there. I don't know if I'll use that much because it's a small piece of a bigger scent. So 25 gallons will make probably 125, 130 gallons of my finished product. There you go, a few, buddy. Bring me a couple.
So go
So
through
yeah, it's
your
hard. It's really hard.
Yes. So go through your typical process. So say you're saying, hey, you have I would say that you probably start, I'm going to talk about when you first start realizing a product line. How are you going through that process? So I want to hear the artistic piece that goes into how you come and create a scent and how you make it and turn it into a product at the end of the day. So you're going through some idea phase, maybe some QA phase, and then you start making the product line realized. But how does that work for you, and how are you doing that process?
1 second.
No worries.
So everybody's in John's chat. Go watch Andrews. Gary's losing his shit. Just kidding. They just said something about the website in the mystery box.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can't find it. Let me see. You should be able to find it because it used to be under the limited edition tab, but since I got rid of that, since that is now the Scent of the Month stuff, I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally make it hard for folks to find it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, the mystery box. So I'll be honest with you, I love doing mystery boxes, but when a existing and very loyal customer orders one, it's so hard because I'm like, when you have everything almost, what do I give you? Because it all depends on what I have available is what's going to go in there. And when I discontinued 4-ounce butters and went to 2-ounce, I have a lot of 4-ounce butters left that those will go in mystery boxes. So someone ordered mystery box and I put 3 4-ounce butters in there. So that's $75 worth of butters. If when I had them retail, it was $24.90 something. That they got for, I think, what's $30 the mystery box is. So I try to do at least $40 of product within that box, and you get for $30.
Oh, that's an awesome deal.
$12 for shipping. But yeah, it's hard trying to figure out, like, if they're a new customer, cool. Like, I throw in things that I think they'll like, and I try to make it a varied, not just all the same scent.
Mm-hmm.
But existing customers are so hard because it's like Christmas shopping for somebody that has everything. It's like, what do you put in there?
Now I know that you have a good loyal following, which is what's always I love that about I've run it. Han Yockers has that, like, it almost like is a fan base of just absolutely diehard fans of your products, and it's not hard to love Gary's products. It's absolutely they're top notch, and it's the sensor. I mean, I thought very rarely, I haven't been a big leather fan because I didn't ever think that anything really smelt much like leather that I was given until I smelt yours. And I was like, that is leather. That's totally leather. It's not like a spicy thing that may smell like leather. That's leather. And then that vanilla is just amazing. And then the other thing that I accidentally, when we were trying out and did your unboxing the other day, we put the Poe on. And holy moly, that's a good scent. That's a really good oud scent.
Yeah, I'm fond of that one. That's a pretty popular one. I just restocked the oils the other day. I was out, so I made a crap ton. That and Potomac.
Yeah, so tell me about the process. So when you thought about Poe, what was it that made you decide this scent profile?
Dark and rich. I'd growl and Poe. I mean,
Yep. Cool.
All right, so that's so, and that sounds really simple, right? So for these guys in the chat, I have fixed it. Mystery box is now under the beard oil tab. So those of you who
we're looking for it,
yeah.
Good. See, isn't that cool? We're on a live stream. He's fixing things. We are on a live stream. He's fixing things right now because he wants to help everybody out. That's awesome. I love that. That's customer service right there.
But yeah, so the what's so good, accurate? I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, the Ultra conditioner.
No, that is
good. The Ultra is good. So the process, like when I make a scent, because you're asking about the Poe,
right?
Is I don't want to say there's a set process. Because they all happen different ways and sometimes more organically than the others. So there's times where I'll just be messing around. Like Scarecrow was a happy accident. I was just messing around, mixing things with my wife. And I'm like, hey, this smells pretty damn good. We're trying to like what would fall smell like? We're just playing around. So I sent, that was one of like 6 different scents we were making. And I sent those to 4 or 5 people. And they all came back. I forgot what it was, bottle like A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't know which one Scarecrow was. I think it's probably F. And they all came back like, bro, this bottle is legit. Whatever that is legit. So Dan's wife, Sam, actually named it because he was like, bro, Sam loves this scent. And he goes, That's what cool. is this? I told him, I go, I don't know what to call it. And Sam goes, call it Scarecrow because it's like falls. I'm like, boom, there you go, Scarecrow. Also cool in that group was also Southern Charm. So here's an interesting. Oh look, and there's Dan C. See, we're only got 16 watching now, 17 watching now. They're like, oh, Gary's not talking crap anymore. And for the record, I wasn't talking crap. I was just saying how tired of the crap I was.
Yeah.
I don't talk shit. I just talk. That's just my thing.
I will tell you that since I've gotten in the community, and this is just a side thing, Dan has been my genuine friend in this business or in this reviewing game. And I have always appreciated that about him.
You know,
And
I'll agree with that as far as like I'm concerned with Dan. And when I say like a genuine or real friend, it's not somebody who's just gonna, you know, stroke your ego and make you think your shit don't stink. Dan has never, ever, ever hesitated to put me in my place when I need to be. Or I mean, like, and that's the friend. It's not like, oh, Gary's going on a tangent. F Gary, I'm not talking to him. He'll be like, hey, you mean like you need to calm your shit, bro. And then I mean we talk about it, and then we come to like an understanding where like he'll hear the like. There's been incidents where people only see the one. That's what's the problem with social media is they're like, oh, did you hear this person said this? With showing no proof or no real context, anything, and then oh, I hate that guy now because you said this. Well, Dan wants to know, okay, this is what's going on, but what's going on, G? Like, tell me what the hell's up? And then he gets the full context of everything, and then he goes, okay, well, this is what you did wrong. This is what you did right. I still love you, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's a friend who can tell you
Right.
to eat shit, shut up, you know, put the keyboard down and go to work. And still respectfully, like, you know, tell you these things, but still be your friend and not turn on you just because somebody says, oh, you're a bad guy. Like, he makes his decision. And that's what a true friend is. And he's not the only one that does that.
Right.
But
Very true.
he is the biggest one who does that. In this community, he's probably one of the truer friends you're going to find if you can get to where you build that friendship with him. Because being cordial and acquainted with people is not the same as being a friend. Like, I would count Dan as a family member without hesitation. I would get on the plane right now and beat the shit out of somebody if they hurt any of his family. And that's, I mean, he's not the only one I would do that for, which is I'm talking about him. Like, that's my relationship with Dan.
Right. I have
Only because I respect that. Like, he'll tell me, and I've had people like, oh, he's an affiliate, so he likes everything you do. No, Dan doesn't like half the shit I make. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not his profile. And he'll tell me, hey, just not my thing. And I love that. Like, he's not like, oh, I make money when I people use my code. So, oh yeah, this scent's great. Nah, Dan will tell you, I don't like this. I don't like that. This one I like. This one I like. And like the respect, I just can't build. And he's crazy forgiving. As long as you own up to your bullshit and don't try to like lie about it, you know what I mean? He'll always say, cool, we'll wipe the slate clean. But if you just lie about it, pretend you didn't do, I mean, that obviously that's with anybody. Like, why would you accept that? But
right.
back to the scent thing. I want to talk because I had
Yep.
Southern Charm was in that Southern Charm was in that batch of those 5 or 6 oils. And Dan, who doesn't, I don't even think still really likes bourbon. He's like, bro, this smells really good, which was shocking because he's not a bourbon guy or used to not be. I'm not sure how if he's kind of adjusted. His scent profile preferences kind of changed a few times. So I was like, cool, we'll rock with that. Well, the place that made that peach fragrance oil, the supplier for that had a warehouse fire and they lost all their inventory. I could not get that peach. So I'm like, cool, I'll just order another peach, right? I went through easily 50, 60, maybe even 70 different variations of a peach, fragrance or essential, and could not match the original peach that I was using. So I couldn't do Southern Charm for almost a year. It took so much time. When I finally found one that was semi-close, I was able to get the original. So Southern Charm is probably my most anticipated scent ever because the few people who had the tester and then shared that tester with people and I had people bugging me, when are you going to come out with this? When are you going to come out with this? Because nobody was doing a peach and bourbon. I'm like, I don't know when I'm like, I wasn't trying to tell them why I couldn't come out. I just, not yet. I got things going on, but man, that was probably the crappiest thing because our business is reliant on so many different factors. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was accused one time like, oh, Gary doesn't make his own scents. He just pours out of a bottle. Well, I don't have a freaking peach tree in my backyard that I can express peach essence out of. Like, yeah, I'm buying those scents, right? And everybody does, you know what I mean?
Right, but that's the art that goes into it, though, is being able to see different scents and then combining them into something that smells good. That's an art.
Yeah, so blending the scents is amazing. I love doing it. But there's times where you'll buy a scent and you don't want to touch it. You're like, this smells great all by itself. Why touch it, right? Let me see, like a barbershop scent, like the talcum powder type barbershop.
Right.
Why would I loved it? That was one of our first scents. Why I didn't want to mess with it. I'm like, I don't want to add anything to this. We have since continued the pure barbershop, and we blended it with something else, which is I don't like it, but the customers like it. No, I don't. So what I actually do, like when I do my sugar cookie scent, I don't have a sugar. I bake fresh cookies and I just squeeze them until they just juice into my bottles.
But I don't think
people
and realize
some scents
that
smell like dirt.
Go ahead.
But yeah, sometimes, like Zebra says, you get scents that smell like dirt, like vetiver. Vetiver on its own, terrible. And I didn't realize this because I never really worked with vetiver. And then when I was visiting Michigan, I went to Detroit Grooming and had a huge little powwow with Mike. Love Mike.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And he had this big old container because his scent black is like my favorite scent out of anything in the world. Like, I love black. Like, it's just amazing. And it's 3 ingredients. And he's like, he goes, did you ever smell vetiver? Because he knows I like black, and it's in black. I'm like, on its own? I go, no, I don't think I've ever smelled just vetiver. He goes, smell this. He goes, you love black, but smell this. And he holds up this big old bomb shelter looking container. And I smell it. I'm like, oh, that's terrible. He goes, right? But blended with those 2 things, it smells great. But on its own, it smells like that. It just smells gross. I was going to say something vulgar. It is gross. But Acker's acting about the butter. Sorry, butters and I don't know. If you give me a second, I'll go get one. Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. What's going on, Devin? See Devin in here.
Devon.
Yeah.
Eat some steak, Devon.
That was a good live you guys had on today, Devin. It's good seeing you, buddy. So we're gonna go look at some butter.
What the heck?
I will tell you that the one thing that is always amazing, and there's a couple companies in here. I'm always genuinely impressed by people that are putting their hard-earned effort into blending these things. It is so difficult, especially to find something unique. And especially in this game, that's what everybody's after, is unique.
Oh, I don't have anything to wipe my hands. All right. So we had recently updated our butter because I was tired of the crystallization crap, right? Everybody's tired of it. So this is what our butter, and this is Slumberjack. When it's cool, I guess, or semi-hard, I have my cherry cola butter right here, and this is Slumberjack. It's hot in my bathroom for whatever reason right now, so this is not like completely solidified. This is the butter normal.
Wow.
So I got a big chunk, but so that's the butter. So when it's warmed up, and this is the thing too, if you keep it in your, see, now I'm going to smell like Slumberjack and cherry cola. But if you keep it in a room that's warm a lot, you're going to get this kind of look.
Oh, right.
So look at that. See how easy that just came out? Can you guys see that? Now it's on my finger. And look, it's already melting. I don't know if it's going to, on this end, it's dripping. There it goes.
Oh, wow.
So that's in about a 70, 80 degree room. Now I smell like Slumberjack and cherry cola. I'm not sure if that's going to blend. But so I changed the shea butter so we don't use hard shea butter anymore. We use a different type. But yeah, it smells cherry cola. It smells so good. So we made it after cheer wine. Have you ever had a cheer wine cola? But yeah, the YouTube on my computer is delayed from the phone, so I'll put this back up because then I can see it.
Yeah, cool. So my
Throw
son
that cherry cola away. Why throw it away?
Oh, that cherry cola is so good. My son thought that was the best smell he's ever smelled.
That's right. You have that.
Yep. That we got that for Father's Day, and my son was just like, "This is cherry cola. This is perfect." That's awesome.
So let me. So this is when it's firmer, and it's funny. It's the same recipe, but it's how different it just looks. So Johnny, you said you're gonna buy it. I want to tell you, there's lanolin in it. It's on the labels. So I know you're vegan. Now, if you want one without lanolin, I could probably do that. Yeah, that's what's crazy, Acker. They're the same formula, right? But look how different they are. This warm. This is not so warm. Now, if I go set this up in my freezer and pull it out, it'd be good. So I used this when it first came out of the freezer. A little hard to get out. Once it came out, then it just melted like liquid. Like this is, I don't know, it's amazing. Let's put a little bit in. So
that's awesome.
I can't even scoop it out really. So you get this, it's on my finger. See, now it's, I don't even have to wipe it. There.
That's awesome.
It doesn't take a lot. Literally, it doesn't take a lot.
And that cherry cola smell is absolutely amazing. I thought Poe was. We really like Calvary around here. It's apparently it smells up our house every day.
Yeah.
What is your
Lanolin's
favorite?
okay because lanolin doesn't kill the sheep. You don't kill the. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Lanolin. Yeah. What's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell
or scent?
My wife.
There you go.
You know, I got that something about Mary here for Acker. You know what? That's the hard. Whoop, there you go. So Zebra, does it look better now that you've taken it out of the fridge, or does it still look like that? It's gonna be shiny, like that kind of. It's got a shine to it. My favorite scent. Oh, Andrew, you would say that.
I know.
Can you give me a top 3?
Give me a top 3.
Scarecrow. Top 3 permanent, right? Not or just any at all.
Any at all.
I have
anything that you've made.
Oh, Scarecrow, Pina Aid, the pineapple lemonade. That's tied with Squeeze. This is the pink lemonade. They're tied. Man.
It's hard, huh? There's so many good ones.
I'll go with Cherry Cola. Just because
Cherry
I
Cola's
love
a
it.
good one. Yeah, Cherry
See,
Cola.
and it looks like jelly. It shouldn't look like jelly. Maybe I need to adjust it if it looks like jelly, but see, to me, like that's a butter shouldn't be firm, really. So that's kind of what I wanted to go for. The other one's this one looks firm, but it's not really that firm.
Now, I saw a video the other day where you are not whipping it, but you're doing a different technique where you're beating it right with a beater.
Beat it, just beat it. Scramble up an egg and eat it.
Did you change that from so you were doing poured at one point, I'm assuming, and then now you're doing the beating method instead of the whipped?
Negative, Ghost Rider. My butters are still poured. The beard vitality is what you saw me beating.
Okay, that's...
So the reason why... Rob, I'm going to restock Pina Aid this weekend. So I have Squeezed, which is pink lemonade, Quenched, which is watermelon lemonade, and Pina Aid, which is pineapple lemonade. And no, they're not pre-mixed like They're lemonade with other scents. So it's not like, oh, you just bought watermelon. No, that's not what it is. But those summer scents, they've been going fast. So the Beard Vitality is, so my regular butter is cooked. I have big old melting pots. I throw the ingredients in there. And they reached a certain temperature. I maintain that temperature for a certain amount of time, and then I pour them. The Vitality is not cooked whatsoever. The Vitality is, I take the 3 butters with peanut. So the summer series just come in Vitality and oil. We don't do the butters. I take the 3 butters and the amount of the oil, the shea nut oil that I put in there, and I beat it. So it's like, it goes in looking like one thing, comes out looking like whipped cream. It's so delicious looking.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. I thought it was a really cool product. Now, is it just the process of, and I've seen, it's almost like the food industry in that way, that it comes out looking like that. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what made you?
Tyson hates Irish Blue.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard
He
so many
hates it.
Who does?
Tyson goes, Tyson smells like vomit. It's funny. He told me that. I'm like, I'm not mad. That's cool.
Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, he's I've heard, who else? Johnny Grooms, I think, loves that smell. He absolutely.
Tyson is the first person to give me a negative feedback on Irish Blue. First person.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
and that's cool. I mean, like, I'm not, and that's the thing. Like, if people get mad, like, oh, they didn't like it, well, do a better job. I mean, like, if you didn't like it, didn't like it. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Truth. And not every scent is for everyone. And that's the one thing about and I think that the really awesome thing about your lineups is that you have something that probably will attract anybody. It'll attract at least one person, like the cherry cola. That's a really unique smell, and it's really good. And if you like cherries and you like cherry Pepsi or cherry Coke, my son says cherry Coke.
But it doesn't smell like you're wearing a cherry soda, though. So if you've never had a Cheerwine, you really need to get one, and then you would totally understand. Like, I made the scent profile with a bottle of Cheerwine right there, and it was like sip, smell, blend. Like, it was a constant thing just to make sure. Because myself and at the time ambassadors, huge Cheerwine guys. A lot of us were big on Cheerwine, and they're like, "Oh, you got to make a Cheerwine scent." So I wasn't gonna just make cherry cola, here it is. No, like, because Cheerwine is not your average cherry. It's more cherry than cola. And I just played with the blend, and then I had the 6-pack open as many as I needed to make sure I kept that fresh Cheerwine smell going, so I knew, what is which. And when we nailed it, and that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we're not, when you said like our scents too, I would think when you look at other companies, like, there's a pretty average or expected scent profile list for people to have, like a woodsy, a citrus, a mint, or a lavender. Like, I would say we're kind of not on that average scale. I don't really have a woodsy scent. It's because I'm not a woodsy guy, so I haven't felt the need to make one. Like, if it was demanded enough, I would probably try to figure that out. Like, we had a scent in the beginning called Pappy. It would smell like you walked into Home Depot, like a lumber yard, like a wood shop. My wife loves that scent. She was the only one mad when I discontinued it. It's because it didn't sell well, because you wear it and it literally, it was like you just stuck your beard in a bundle of sawdust, like you walked through the lumber yard. It smelled good. It just,
Do you want that all day? Right.
She loves that stuff, but I wasn't fond of it. We don't really have, I think the only minty one is Dan's Command and Conquer that has peppermint in it.
Right. That's a good smell. I love that smell.
Yeah.
That's a really good smell.
Lemon, peppermint, and lavender. And if anybody knows me, knows that lavender gives me an instant migraine. Like, I hate lavender. So when Dan says, this is what I want my collaboration to smell like, I'm like, lavender, Dan? Really? He goes, yeah, but it smells good. No, we don't know. I've not had that combination yet. I'm like, it's lavender, Dan. But for you. And when I made that scent, literally, like my mom was visiting at the time, and I was mixing the blend. I kept telling my mom, well, does this smell okay? And I'd smell it and get a headache. I'm like, does this smell better? Like I would just updating it because then Dan would send he'd get the sample and be like, no, update this. So I have my mom, how's this smell? Like, because as soon as I smell, I get a headache. Then I was no longer good at figuring out that like I couldn't do anything with it because my head was pounding. So cherry cola is off the site. We do it in random times of the year. It had been on for a few months and we took it off.
It is really good. It's super good.
If you're a Cheerwine fan, Rob, because I have to make one Vitality in cherry cola that I owe somebody, I'll do you a solid. And Devin, yes, I know you're tired of waiting. So not this Monday, but next, and then you're good, dude. We have that wash dropping, which I'll be making it this weekend.
Is the wash that he's looking for?
It's not on the website. It is.
Okay.
It's the new wash that we're releasing. It's replacing the one that's on the website.
Gotcha.
It is a sulfate-free, not by design, by happenstance, beard wash. It's a daily beard wash. You can use it every day. It's not extremely stripping, but it's not dull. Like it's gonna do its job. What else?
I like your current one too. I got that 4-pack where you got like a oil, a butter, and then a beard wash. That was really nice.
Beard Cat level 3. I think
the Beard Cat level 3. That's exactly what I bought, and I thought that, and I used it, and I loved it. Because I went and bought back. So I was going to do this review on just Calvary, but then Christy bought me a bunch of Father's Day stuff. So now I have to go push my review back a little bit more because I wanted to put all that stuff in there. And I got like a ton of stuff now. It's like I'm going to have like a month of testing of Chesapeake just because I got so much awesome stuff. Yeah. And my wife bought Poe. She bought Cherry Cola. I have the Calvary.
She did good.
She did. It was a fun time. And my son bought himself. He bought me, I think he bought me the Cherry Cola. So my stepson for Father's Day bought me, because he got the Calvary package. He got 2 of those and bundles or combos. And then he bought me the Cherry Cola for Father's Day. He bought me like 3 things. It was awesome. It was really fun. And then everybody was, so excited because they knew that I would be excited about it.
Dan's still here. So yeah, so McMahon has used the daily for a year, like all the time, and never had a problem with it. Beard's never been damaged or anything. And that the daily has sulfate in it, SLS. Now it was never a plan to remove it because of that. Like I don't have an issue with that. The plan was, since the beans were already spilled on Command's Corner a week ago, the plan was to give Command Co-Wash a beard wash counterpart.
Oh, cool.
So that's what I'm doing with Dan. And what we're going to do is, instead of having 500 different washes, because I already have 500 different co-washes, and we came up with one, and I had tested variations for months until I found the top 2 that I liked. I sent those to Dan with just a number 1 and a number 2 on it. He had no idea what was in it. And there was only one difference between the 2 bottles. And he came back and he said, bottle number 2. And I said, are you sure? He goes, well, hold on. So about a month later, he came back. Yeah, I'm still sure, number 2. So that's what we're going to do. So I have number 2 here, and I have the other ingredient for it arrived, because it's something that's made at a cosmetics facility. But I have one thing that I add to it that I'm not talking about.
Cool.
And then it will be released in a couple weeks. Who is it? I think Ken Bluegrass actually won a bottle pre-release. And that's how the beans got spilled. Because then I said, hey, just give away a bottle of that. So he showed the label.
Okay.
So I don't want to say the beans were spilled, but you know, that's how we kind of broke the news.
It's exciting though. And so are you going to do that on Command Corner?
Yes.
Cool.
And we will do that wash. Well, let me take it back. I don't do anything with collabs that the collaborator, person I collab with, doesn't approve of. So if Dan doesn't want that formula to be used in other scents, it won't be, which is fine because I have backups if I need to add a second wash formula. McMahon tested, there was a handful of guys that tested a honey biotin beard wash for me. It smelled wonderful. It's from the honey.
Oh, cool.
That will be coming out. There's an issue with the supplier. So that's kind of what's keeping up. That was actually a triple set. It had a honey biotin wash, a honey biotin conditioner, and a honey biotin spray leave-in conditioner, which is phenomenal.
Oh, wow. That sounds cool.
I've had everyone who's tested it, except for Dan, because he tests a million things. The other people were just customers and stuff like that that don't do product testing for a living. They've all like, dude, when's this spray coming out? I need this, I need this, I need this. And I'm like, you're just going to have to wait because I'm having an issue right now. Once I can release it, we will release it. I've got label. Everything's ready for it. I just have to. See, McMahon has that spray. My old spray leave-in, the Beard Tamer, like this blows Beard Tamer out the water. Beard Tamer's dead because this is taking it over. And I wanted to do a leave-in conditioner, but I didn't want the normal, oh, you dip your finger in a jar, put the leave-in like that. The spray works great. You don't get that. You don't have to wash it out. Like that was the biggest thing for me. It's awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I know that my son brought a biotin the other day, and that he was like wondering if you had. So we talked about the supplements, but it's really cool to think that we're gonna, because we were talking about the advantages of taking it internally and putting it and having it just like a topical.
Mm-hmm.
And we were reading about it and trying to figure out which one. He was going to probably do both. But now that I know that you have both, we'll have to go try both out. And so he decided that he wanted to shave his beard down, so which is what he did. And then now he's trying to do the biotin to see how well it grows back. So
since Dan's in here, he could probably confirm if I'm correct or not. But topical biotin, there's like little to no research to support the actual benefit or success of it. Now, it's not going to hurt anything. Like, it's not going to negatively do anything. I just don't know if there's enough research to say that alone is going to have any significant benefit to you. Right. I would always do these actual supplement either in a gummy form, which usually the gummies have like more of a multivitamin type aspect to it, and you can get the biotin by itself.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you sell both, right?
Yeah. So out of the caps, the regular just pure biotin right now. Again, supply chain, like everything's delayed. It takes a while to get everything back in stock. And I would order thousands of these things because I know they would sell. It's just I'm not trying to buy that many at one time. And then because if they don't sell, I hate sitting on inventory. So if I don't make it, I hate ordering a lot because I hate sitting on it.
Well, then it's not fresh, and people will say, "Hey, you're sitting on it." I totally get it.
So, you know, it's funny. So Dan did the review or the update, kind of surprised me with the Chesapeake update, and they talked about Sam loves our Jade shampoo conditioner. He messaged me. He said, I know your stock is either low or out. You need to order a bunch of this stuff because it's a great thing. So how long ago was that video? And I ordered it that day, and I'm still waiting for it, right? So
oh, goodness.
I'm like on a 2-month lead, you know, getting these things because they're not just manufacturing my product. They're manufacturing for hundreds of other companies. Plus, they're doing their own thing, like they're doing hand sanitizer production too right now. So that's the thing. People think like, oh, if you're out of stock on it, you know, you don't make it. Well, yeah, no crap. I don't make my shampoo conditioner because you really shouldn't do it because it's either I could pay someone to do it for me or I could outfit my facility to be able to do it and then pay for the testing. It's cheaper just to have somebody else who's already doing it. the person who does my Ultra actually went to the same cosmetics courses that Beard and Mac Chris has gone through and that I'm going through. And one of the courses teaches you a formula and a recipe, and it's basically what she's doing. So it's I could do it myself and pay for the testing, or she's already done all that. So why not use her skills and resources? You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. And you know, there's, I know people that get weird about the whole, like, hey, you go somewhere else to do, it's
Yeah.
part of being business to be able to give you products that are good and that you don't, and you get it, you know the science behind it. So you're going, hey, but I can do it better this way so that I don't have to eat the cost or some other reason for, and especially if you know the person personally. Yeah. That's cool.
So Dan just said there's a bunch of studies that are going to be wrapping up soon on topical biotin. So that's awesome. Dan's got his finger on that pulse more than I do because that's his 100. He focuses on that. My finger's like sometimes on that pulse.
Yeah, I and honestly, that's the reason. It's I do the research because I listen to Dan, who says go do the research. I mean, it's always good to see, hey, what's really in these products, and you know, that's the one thing that people kind of forget about when they listen to a video, is that he's also telling you to educate yourself. Here's some facts, but also go take a look yourself, and here's some links to help. Here's some links to help support, but also read about it so you can have a formulated opinion for yourself. And I think that stuff is the stuff that I love to do. I love diving into the science behind this stuff. My dad's a science teacher, so of course that's kind of.
So is my wife.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, my dad taught for 40 years. He's just retired maybe 2 or 3 years back.
Sweet.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
9 times out of 10, if not 9.9 times out of 10, I'll message Dan about a research thing or like, hey, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I already knew that, and here's some more. Did you know this? So when I say he has his finger on the pulse, like he's choking that pulse out, like it's firmly on that pulse. So like he knew Redkin has like I didn't know Redkin was coming out with results. I don't have. When it comes to topical biotin, that wasn't something that I'm truly 100% invested in as far as needing to research it. Like I know it could be beneficial, but just to what extent? So I'm like, when it comes out, it comes out. So that'd be great when that information comes out. The internal, like, that's something totally different. You know what I mean? So, yes, and Beard and Metal Chef cookies. James makes the best cookies. Really good cookies.
Has he sent you cookies?
Yes.
Oh, see, Joe got cookies the other day too, and they looked amazing. And I saw a video of him making them.
So Dan took those courses. So why is it that Chris had to recommend those courses to me, but Dan couldn't recommend those courses to me? Come on, man. But yeah, so there's a handful of those courses that I'll be doing. And I've kind of already like started a little bit.
Is there a certification that goes with it or something?
Yeah, you get like a little certification. And there's it's multi-levels to this thing. It's there's like a basic thing that you can. Well, it depends which one, because there's a regular one, there's a natural one, there's 2 organizations right now that Chris has shared with me that I'm going to be that I'm involved with. One of them is like a basic understanding, and then there's one course that actually like dives into, here's formulas that here you go, and you could tweak these or whatever, and they give you actual like formulas. One doesn't really give you formulas as much as it just tells you about things and how to safely do things and use things like that. But yeah, there's certificates depending on what level you want to go to, how far you want to go. It's not entirely, it's not cheap, but it's not out of reach expensive. You don't need student loans to go that far. I mean, if you're truly invested in knowing these things, it's worth the money. If you're just going to use products and you don't really care, then don't waste your money on these courses.
Still interesting. It's very interesting. And I
Yes.
think that the fact that you're doing that is always a good thing for the consumer, because it's showing that he spent some time researching what he's putting into his products, which
Yeah.
is exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. And the
Very
reason
knowledgeable
why
people.
is I want to do it all in house. I want to bring at some point, I want to be able to bring everything in house, everything. And that's going to be, I'm going to have to learn these things and then teach people to do them, hire people.
Mhm.
It's just when you're starting out, like the expense to make, and Beard and Mac, if you ever talk to him, he'll tell you, like, yeah, because he makes stuff for personal use and stuff in house, but the stuff he sells, he does it out of house, because the testing process and everything you have to go through to be allowed to do that is just crazy. Like, why invest that when there's somebody else who's already invested that money and can do it for you? And that's what their job is. Like, that's what they do. So, and yeah, and anybody can reach out to these companies and have these products made. Like, it's not a difficult process. I've currently used like 4 or 5 different cosmetic facilities. And one of them, I'm not going to discuss which product it is, but one of them I reached out, and they have, like, you have to submit a form. If you have a formula, if you want to create something, and have them make it for you, you got to fill out this form, and you got to tell them what ingredients are you interested in having in the product. Like, they don't want you to like give them an A to Z recipe, because that's what they're going to formulate. They want to know what's your product, like what ingredients do you desire to be in here? What's the purpose of the product? What ingredients do you not want in your product? And stuff like that. Now, you can give them an A to Z recipe and they'll just make it for you. Like, they're like co-packing. They'll do that. But if you want them to help formulate it, you fill out this form. Well, I did that, and then you have to pay a pretty large fee to start that process. And then they come up, I think there's one of them was like 3 to 5 testers, right? Or like reformulations. Like, they'll send you a product. If you want to adjust it, you have so many that are included in your fee. If anything above that, you're going to pay the fee again. Yeah, so Dan said, yes, some of them is like having a master's, which those are the ones where they're going to teach you actually like formulas and all that. So you're going to go in depth, and that's the one I'm more interested in. The other one's getting like a basic one, the certificate, which I'm going to do before I dive into that other one. But ultimately, that's the one you want. It's from a legit institute.
That's cool. That's cool.
So when Dan says he's educated, he's not bullshitting anybody. Like, the dude knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's the reason why I don't.
Yeah.
And it's, and the good thing about it is that he's also trying to educate you as a consumer about what these products are, which is why I started watching these videos. So some dude like a long time ago gave me had a smell of something in a balm. It was from New York. And I said, wow, that smells really good. And he says, it's really good for your beard. Then I started watching Dan's videos and realized that I could actually grow a beard and not have the itch there. And all of his videos have been spot on with what I knew, like, especially like the carrier oil pieces that he was carrying. And I was just like, these are spot on. This is why you watch somebody like that, is because they have educated themselves, and they are also trying to educate you so that you as a consumer can have the best idea for health. It's really important. And I think that that's what several of my reviewers are into. That some are just into scents, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think Dan's putting that specialty into what is the benefit, what is the goods and the pros, what is the cons of any of these products, and then he throws it out to you to say, hey, and scent is one of those things that's so, it's all perspective, but this stuff is legitimate science. And
yes,
I think that's what I like about that is that the science behind it is so unique, so fascinating, because things bond differently. It's in that chemistry place where you're like, did I pass chemistry once? But
So
it's
I've got
really
squirrel going on because we sidetracked into this conversation, and I'm going to forget what I was talking about.
No, go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt. So on one of my products, like I said, I did the form. I was filling out the form, just telling this company, this is what I want, this I want. And no shit, they emailed me back. They said, we'd be more than happy to work on this for you. You know, here's the fees, da 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 da. But one thing, or one question for you. We already have a formula that's almost what you're asking for, with the exception of one ingredient. We chose, you have one ingredient that you want that we don't use because we chose a different ingredient that we feel is better. Would you like to use our formula? Since it's the same, we could send you a tester of that. Or do you want us to formulate yours and I pay the fee? And first of all, for them to even offer that to me, like, they could have just charged me the fee and I never would have known that they just basically swapped out one ingredient, right?
right.
Never would have known that. And they're like, we offered this. So they sent me the thing and I'm like, it feels great, does what I asked it, wanted you to do. So then I said, cool. I said, let's roll with that. I'm happy. It saved me $5,000. So perfect. I'm cool with that. And that's when people are like, the pay someone, if somebody's gonna, like this scenario, if someone's gonna say, hey, we have the same thing, just we have maybe one or two ingredients that are different, and it's gonna save me that much money, and it's not gonna change the way what I want the product to do. Because if you want something to lather, right? And this is not the ingredient I'm talking about, but say you just wanted something that really lathered, there's hundreds of things that are gonna lather, right? And if the lathering is the only thing that it does, and is not in picking an ingredient to do the lather isn't going to affect anything else, you know what I mean? Then does it really matter that they use a different lathering agent than what I wanted to, unless it's a harmful one? And they tell you what it is they use. So if it's something you don't want, then yeah, then you could pay the astronomical amount of money, and then they'll add your marshmallow root is the thing I wanted in my ingredient. And they didn't have marshmallow root. They had a different type of root extract in theirs. And they explained the process. I'm like, you know what? Let's roll with it. So that's what we did.
That's cool though. But still, you still are at the master of that, and knowing, and you're still in the design space where you are still saying, hey, here's what I've done the research, but here's what I want. And then they're coming up with some suggestions to help you too, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. So in a lot of these labs, they have a storefront where you can buy, people call them, to me, there's a difference between a base. If you go to bulk apothecary, I'm sorry, and just buy their conditioner base, that is different from going to an actual cosmetic lab and then buying their base, because their base is something they formulated and they're offering it to you in lieu of you paying the $5,000 for them to formulate it. And the beauty of it is, bulk apothecary, you buy their base, do what you want with it. They don't touch it because they buy it from somewhere else. A cosmetics lab is, they're like, this is what we offer because we've already done all the research and all the work and we've created these products. They will change their formulation for you, right? So if they have a toothpaste, but I want this added to it, they will adjust the recipe. You got to pay for it. They'll adjust the ingredients and add the ingredient you wanted, and then you buy it from them. So that's why working with an actual cosmetics lab is beautiful, because they can make those adjustments for you. They could do everything legally, right? Bulk apothecary, well, I only use that one because everybody knows them. They don't make any adjustments for you. They can't. Legally, they can't. They're just a vendor. They're not a lab. So they can't make those adjustments. So that's why working with an actual facility, regardless of how you get the product from them, that's the beauty of it, because they can make any change, anything you want.
That's
and
cool.
Something I wanted to say when we talked about these courses and stuff and the benefit of actually doing them.
Mhm.
So, and that's the thing, is like, you don't have to be a maker to actually do your homework and research. And when I say Dan knows what he's talking about, it's not because I like Dan. It's because he legit educated himself, took these courses that are available to anybody at a cost, So he knew what he was talking about. So when he tells people he has a library or access to these things because of his resources, it's not, oh, he just Googled it. No, it's because he's paid the money to take these courses and now has access to this peer-reviewed information, doctoral type information that you don't have access to unless you're in these programs, right? So there's times where another maker can be like, well, this product is bad and this is why. And they're going based solely off of what they found on the internet. And then you can have somebody educated in the realm of the science of everything and say, no, it's actually not that bad, and this is why. I'm going to go with the person who educated himself in a legit form and not Google, right? Google's great, but Google's not a university. There's educational institutions that you can learn this information from. And the thing with the internet is you could find a pro and a con to anything on the internet. You're going to find supportive and you're going to find negative, right? On any subject. And 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, the negative is going to be backed by people or organizations who don't use it and promote a different product, like the natural body cares. They're going to support articles that tell you why you shouldn't use certain things, so you buy their natural care. Then you're going to get supportive articles for people who want you to buy this product and not the natural. So you got to look at who's telling you this information. And Google, what's that saying? If it's on the internet, it must be true, right? So if the internet's your only source of information, then I wouldn't use that as your factual basis, just because there could be other information out there. Not everything is on the internet. Not everything. When I was taking my PhD program, there was resources that I had to use, specific resources for my paper, that you cannot find this information on Google. You couldn't, period. And I know this because I was having to pay to have access to this crap. That I tried Googling it. You could not find it just Googling it. You just, period, you couldn't. So when someone like Dan says he has his access, it's because he truly does have that access. It's not because he Googled it, because you can't Google everything, right?
No.
Usually the shit that matters isn't on Google. That's how I look at it.
No, and
So just because a maker says something, and I'm a maker, and just because I say something doesn't mean it's true unless you can support it. And supporting it by Google is not support.
Well, that's not facts. So the reason why why schools don't take Wikipedia as a factual source
You
is
can
because
adjust it.
you can adjust it, and anybody can get onto Wikipedia and make the posting there. They can edit it. They can do anything. It has some facts, maybe, but you don't have anything specific, and you don't have sightings. And those are the things that I think that people are in the know. They're citing facts from legitimate research that's been done by a university or a company that is in the business of doing that research. And I think that type of stuff is where you need to find your legit. And and people who have that information and they're sharing it with you, and you don't have to, and you can just, watch a video about it. That's pretty cool. I enjoy, especially coming from somebody who's done that research. I enjoy that fact because I know how, it's fun to do, but then also not having to do it yourself is always nice too. But I agree with you that not Google is.
I don't mean to sound like I'm going on a praise Dan. This isn't a praise Dan show.
No, it's okay.
Because I know some people are like, oh, you just stroke. No, this is just the truth. I mean, like, what am I going to say? Like, you can't argue. And there's times where Dan and I disagreed on information, and we just leave it at that. I mean, because some of it just comes down to preference, personal preference, right? We both agree that it's not that terrible, but maybe some of us like to use the product ingredients, some don't. So, and well done steaks are not okay. There is no scientific proof that it's okay. You're not going to find any peer-reviewed journal saying it is okay, Devin. You lose. You and Joe take your little shoe leather eating selves. So I showed Devin. I texted him a picture. I made fillets the other night. Beautiful fillets. Sent him a picture, and he goes, it's not done. And where's the A1? I'm like, well, when you cook a proper steak, you don't need A1 because it's so soft and moist and delicious. Like the flavor's just there. A1 is because you're eating shoe leather, Devin. He goes, no.
So I am going to throw a little bit of facts out there that you're actually charring it, and the worse that you char something, the more that it's a byproduct and is, not good for you.
Yeah,
So,
at some point your steak becomes charcoal. Like you're not supposed to eat that.
And it's actually kind of a carcinogen to cook it to that point. But my dad is that extreme. So my stepdad, dad, he eats a well done, like it isn't moving. It isn't, it is so done. I call it's blackened. That's the term for it. It's blackened.
My grandmother says if you can't taste what the cow ate for breakfast and smell the shit on the horns or the hooves, it's cooked too much.
That's good. That's a good one. Well, I am on call, Gary, and I have to probably vamoose because I got a upgrade in about an hour and a half, and I have to go move my equipment back to from my closet, which is where my wife says you can go do your live streams now. So I have to go move it back to my office. But it was a pleasure talking to you.
Somebody else could join. You could leave, and we'll still be live. We don't need you, Andrew.
Yeah, who needs the bearded practitioner? Have Acker come on in. He's an awesome dude.
Come on, Acker, get in here.
Yeah.
Because once we leave, it's just the StreamYard thing, and you don't have to be in here. So come on, Acker.
Yeah,
put the link in the chat. Somebody could join.
Yeah, I can go get him. I actually have.
And let's not call it After Dark because that's just Spanish.
Yeah, I think I can still be. I don't think I'm the controller of it, right?
No,
if I just leave it open.
We've done this before where it was me and who was it? We were in someone's thing and like they left and then we stayed and we were like, yeah, we're still here. I think it was Johnny Grooms.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't have a problem. I'm cool with that. I think he just
there's no association to you once you leave. I mean, like it's not going to come back and bite you in the butt. But
it still is like on my YouTube stream somehow, but I don't care. I'm not going to end the live. I'll just pass out and
it'd be in your YouTube thing.
Yeah, it's all good. So
all right. Johnny, Johnny could start one.
I can get started. Yeah, if Johnny wants to come up. Do you want to go up, Johnny?
I'd start one, but I have like 100 followers. So.
Yeah, Johnny's
I don't have StreamYard.
Yeah, I got the free version, and now I'm almost thinking about buying the upgraded one, but I don't do that many live streams. But now I'm starting to do a little bit more. So thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate you coming on. I apologize
if the stream wasn't what you thought it was going to be.
It's exactly what I wanted it to be. That's exactly. I wanted Gary, and Gary came with the knowledge, with exactly what I see in every single stream, which is awesome, which is you have done a ton of research to make these products. And and I hope what people take from this is complex. Making a business at this level is complex. And that's what I was trying to get out of it, is that there's research. You have to go know these cosmetic things, but then you also have to know how to do a business, how to do marketing, how to do inventory tracking, how to do campaigns. There is so much that goes into this business, and then you're broke for the first 5 years. This is a passion project for anybody doing it. It's not something that you can just pick up, and to do it well, you have to be doing what Gary's doing. And it takes time. I wouldn't be broke if I didn't buy
Dysons for people.
Yeah. But I mean, but I think that, the other thing is that, and I want other people to know this, that these type of things right here are why I really support you, because this is what brings the bearded community into. This is what affects me at the heart level with a company, is somebody that's giving back to the community. And it's not the bearded community. You're giving back to the community as a whole. You're helping out a family, and I know that they're a local AZ family. And you helped somebody out in a community that you grew up in. And that's amazing. And to me, that's something that is that's the legacy what you were doing with this company, is that you're giving back to the community as well as producing awesome products that people love and connect with. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate your time.
Awesome. And I appreciate you letting me on.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk to you soon.
This this is my farewell tour. I've got, I think, one more booked in August. Then I'm not doing any more of these for quite a while.
And nothing wrong with that. I got to focus on what you got going on, buddy. Thank you for doing it. I really appreciate your time, buddy. This is really big to me. We'll talk to you soon.
Woo. Yes, sir. You have a good day.
Yep, you bet.
Oh, I'm still live. It's still me. I guess if I end it, it'd go. Bye-bye.